Hello and welcome to Grim Survival with the one and only Hutch-Homestead. He's on that side. Yeah. How's it going, everybody? Give me a shout if you can hear me, see us, and all that fun stuff.
Am I good, guys? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I just had to mute it. So, yeah, it's working. I see Trusting God First is out there trolling us, and no trust. I was not finishing up my makeup. I did that earlier. I see Homestead Oss in the house. How's it going? Joe Morgan, B Charming, Sheila Smith, Wrench 31. Wrench 31 needs a wrench, don't they? They should have a blue wrench. Cat Lady Prepper 23 Meow. That's a name right there. Hello, how's it going? That's a name. All right, I'm going to mention this just because I feel I should. I got an email about it's a little over an hour and a half ago right now from somebody named Prepper Pirate. And the email was basically a suicide note. And I have no clue why it would be sent to me. I don't know the person whatsoever. So, I just ask everybody to say a prayer. I did send the email over to John at Prepper Nation. He also sent an email. I also posted it in my Discord, and a lot of people are sending emails as well, just trying to help with the situation. So, yeah, if everybody just say a prayer, that's the only thing really we can do at this point. Starting the stream on a bad note, aren't we? Native and Devout, how's it going? I got my comments way over there. Failure to Prepare is in the house. Metal for Breakfast. Jefferson Martial Arts. So, how's it going, Hutch?
Another day. I thought I'd be nice, and I got sleeves on for everybody today. So
I like that shirt. We need to get you a hat. You need one of these.
No, I got.
He just said no. No, but you need one of these. You live on a homestead. Isn't it required to have one of these?
I'm a hillbilly. I ain't a cowboy. There is a difference.
Well, yeah, that's true. What's the hillbilly hat look like? Kind of look like a Arkansas Living's hat yesterday, right? You need one of those.
I wish. He's the bottom of the hill hillbilly. I'm just a simple beanie. You know what I mean?
Is that why he wears the hat, because he's on the bottom of the hill and everything rolls downhill?
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. End of days prepper, how's it going? So you want to tell everybody about your channel? And I've completely spaced putting your link in my description. I'm going to have to do that like right now.
Well, basically, I homestead. I just decided one day, hey, I'm just gonna give up everything and go out and give it a shot. And I'm broke as hell, and I'm trying to do it, and I'm doing it, a piece at a time. So there's a little bit of everything. Sometimes you get opinions, sometimes you get some nonsense, sometimes you see me working. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've noticed. I like that greenhouse you're building, though. All right, I'm posting Hutch-Homestead's link to his YouTube channel in the chat. Go over there and give him a subscribe. Flood his channel with gremlins. We need as many gremlins over there as we can possibly get. So, yeah.
So what's going on? You get your car figured out? You get all that stuff fixed, situated?
I got one of them running. The other one's still dumping about a gallon of oil every week, and all the gauges have gone out. I got a couple of the tires on that one replaced. I got one more that's bad. Other than that, it runs. Other than that, but the one I've been working on, which is my personal vehicle, it's up and running again. Running fairly well. Heat came back on. Oddly enough, I don't know anything about vehicles, but I fixed the coolant leak I had, so it stopped overheating, and then the heat started working again. So I don't know if those two systems affect each other, but obviously, I guess. I don't know.
If you give me something before 1990, I can tear it down and put it back together. But once you start getting into the electronics and brains and all that shit, I ain't got no clue about any of that stuff.
Mine's a 99 Durango.
Oh, yeah, I had one of those a couple years back. It was pretty nice. A lot of buttons.
Well, not that many buttons in mine. It's got 4-wheel drive. It's got mud tires. It came like that. I paid like $3,000 from a local shop for it. and it has a light bar on the front of it with a switch under the dash. It makes a really good bug out vehicle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like them. Jack them up a little bit. They're pretty nice.
That one's actually sitting a little bit lower than I would like, and it's got some rust damage forming around the base because where I live. So yeah,
Paint that whole thing with bedlam.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I should probably do that. New project. Probably make a mess out of it though. Hello everyone. Yep. Trusting God first is Hutch in Arkansas living hillbilly motors. There you go. Make your own car lot.
Hey, I seen a while back, they've got a way to where you can put a wood burning stove in the back of a truck and run it like that. Someday, once I get all land situated, I'm going to play with that and see what I can do.
I've seen that on the Mountain Men show. Oh, what was that guy's name? Eustace. Eustace on Mountain Men did that. He put, I forget what he called the thing, but it was a giant burn barrel in the back of a pickup truck. And yeah, it ran off the wood. I don't know how, but
yeah, hey, there's another one where the guy did he had the school bus and he had it ran off like that. You know, the full size school bus turned into a full blown bug out camper.
Wow. I need to see that video. Sean M in the house. Yeah, I'm a little distracted if you can't tell because of this email I got not too long ago. So the show's all yours today, Hutch. How about it? No, I'm just messing with you.
You're going to be sitting here looking like
before you decided to homestead.
Say that again.
What did you do before you started homesteading?
I was a truck driver for a while. I did 28-foot reefer trucks to Chinese restaurants. I went from KC to Omaha, and then, you know, designated routes. Every couple of days was Omaha, then it was to Wichita, then it was down to Little Rock, you know, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, and then I pulled 53-foot reefers, and I hated every minute of it. I always forgot to do something with the Stuger reefer. And the biggest problem I had with it is every time I had to unload the thing, if I wasn't just dropping hook, I had to clean the trailer out. And that's the worst part. I don't want to clean trailer. I got a job as a truck driver to pull trailers, not to stand inside of them and clean them.
When you go to you stop at the Catskills and have them do it. It's only what, $35-$40?
Yeah, truck wash. One of the companies I ran for actually covered that cost, but most of them are like, it's on you, and I'm not paying $40 out of my own money to clean their truck. That's just not happening. So
you can put that on your taxes as a write-off.
Yeah, but then you got $50 less in your pocket, and yeah, I live on a budget. I'm not paying $50 to clean somebody else's truck.
I'm just throwing options, man.
Yeah, well, I'm not driving reefers anymore. Good plan though. I prefer driving dump trucks anyway.
The Catskills get washed out, man. That was always at least a 6-hour adventure sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah,
reading 4-year-old magazines.
Yeah, every time I was just sitting doing nothing, I always had a device like this one or another device like this one. And yeah, I was either watching movies, watching prepping channels, getting ideas on bug out bags. I probably had more canned food in my semi than anyone has ever thought of. I mean, I had probably about 3 months worth of food in my semi. And people would ask me, what are you going to do if you can't get home? You break down. I'm like, I'm just going to hang out here until it gets warm outside and then walk home. That's what my plan was. Not walking in the winter. It's been snowing here most of the day. It finally stopped just a little while ago. I think we got like 2 inches. And it's wet snow too because it was like 32, 33 degrees. So everything's just soaking wet outside. It's horrible.
Yeah, we got 3 inches today. Nice little blizzard, like 40, 50 mile an hour winds. But
wow.
Now it's 40 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be 58.
Yeah. It'll be gone tomorrow. I think it's going to be in the 40s here tomorrow. So, yeah, we're looking at about the same thing. Everything is just going to be wet and melted and nasty. Probably. Yeah, I'm trying to find the weather now because now I'm curious. What is it going to be tomorrow? I'm trying to get out and do a camping trip one of these days this week. Trying. But, yeah, schedule has definitely been. I guess it's now going to only be 32 tomorrow. That's whatever. Yeah, my schedule has just been crazy lately. You would think with me not having a job that I would have less to do. That's not true. I have more to do now than ever.
I know. Usually in the wintertime, I hibernate. You know what I'm saying? The sun goes down at 5 o'clock. You can't see your hand 2 inches from your face. It's bedtime. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, do you carry an EDC flashlight?
Not really. My
Not really.
son just got one of those high beam flashlights that can go. It can pretty much cover the entire property, and it can spin to a thin beam or a wide beam.
Yeah.
The guy at the very end of the road, he's got a street light. But I like the dark. I don't. You know what I mean?
So, do you have a lot of candles or oil lamps and things like that for your preps?
We got candles. Just the basic stuff. Trying to get some solar panels because where we're at now, we're on prepaid lights, so we can put a bunch on and just we only have it's basically like kind of like an on-call generator because we know how much we got at all times. But
yeah, I have similar service. Prepaid electric is what we have. It's hardwired into the main system, but it's still prepaid.
Yeah. But for the most part, as far as like candles and lanterns, I mean, we got a whole bunch of those dollar flashlights from Walmart, but we've had the power go out here so many times. If it's nighttime, then play with your phone until the battery dies or go to sleep. You know what I mean? Sun will be up in a couple of hours. So.
For anybody curious about the email I sent, I'm gonna post it in the chat. It's a little bit vulgar, and I'm gonna post the email too, because even though I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to. So if it'll let me, because this is probably longer than YouTube chat. Yeah, a lot longer than YouTube chat. So I will have to cut it in pieces. This is somewhat disturbing, guys. Yeah, it's not going to let me post it. It's just too long, but it's not. Anyway, I'm going to post the email. There we go. I can do that. That's not too long. This was who the email was from. They basically, yeah, I don't really want to read it on screen because it's long and it's somewhat vulgar. Basically, they said they're done. I'm good. Say no to life. Make sure nobody else gives up, etc., etc. It came from Prepper Pirate. That's their email. I just posted it in the chat. Feel free to respond, say a prayer. Don't troll the person. Trust. And yeah.
I've seen that name in the chats before.
Yeah, I think I remember the name too. I mean, I don't check my emails constantly, and I'm not, I was dealing with kids and things like that. So I seen the email probably about an hour after it was sent, and I did send a reply right then. And a lot of people in Discord are sending replies also. Also, Prepper Nation sent a reply, and just trying to let the person know they're not alone. So, yeah, it's there. I'm a little distracted. It's one of those kinds of streams. So, I got to ask you the question just to lighten the mood here. I'm sure you know
Please.
the question. You have three options. Option 1, would you take the vax? Option 2, spend a night on Brokeback Mountain with John from Prepper Nation. Or option 3, eat a can of Spam live on camera.
Well, I ain't taking the vax. If I was on Brokeback Mountain, John would be the wife. I'm just lay that out there right now. I go with the Spam. I'm good.
I think Angry Prepper had the best answer still, but I like that one. I think that one is a close second. That's a close second.
I'm just saying, we all need to know where our place is. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to let him know you said that if he doesn't see it.
I'm sorry, John. I'm kidding.
He wasn't kidding, John. I think your phone's chiming, or was that me? I think
that's all you.
Yeah, I got too many things open on my computer, and it constantly chiming. Constantly chiming. So what made you start a YouTube channel of all things to do while you were on a homestead? I know homesteads are busy. So
I got a buddy up the road that started a channel about a year or so ago, and it was strictly weed. So I was helping him with that. But, and eventually he just kind of kept hounding me. He was like, hey, you live like this. People like that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't no different than the 10,000 other broke sons of bitches in these hills. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But eventually I was like, let me give it a shot and see what it's about. You know what I mean? So here I am.
Why not? Maybe we'll get you some donations to get you a better camera.
Hey, my wife was looking this morning. I was, up until about, I think it was 2008 or 2009, I only had a flip phone. You know what I mean? This is only like the 5th phone I've ever had in my entire life, and it's only a $35 phone. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about none of that shit. But I'm slowly getting into it.
I record most of my videos with my phone, like 90% of them. The only time I really use this cheap, pathetic webcam is to do live streams just because it's easier to do them on the computer. But yeah, if you ever need a computer built, I can do that. Can't repair your car. I mean, I can change oil, change tires. I've changed brakes before. I could probably fix the thing if I watch enough YouTube videos. I just don't like doing it. I just don't like it. It's just,
Yeah. I know we're looking at a desktop over in at Walmart. It's only like $400 because I'm getting ready to eventually sometime this year. She's going to get a sewing shed, so I'm going to build me a full, back wall, full library, floor to ceiling, and then put a little, desktop there. That way we can have all that shit, situated.
Native out. Thank you for the super chat. Hutch, do you have a PayPal?
No, I do not.
You should set up PayPal me and post the link in your description. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, when you get the desktop, make sure, my only suggestion really is make sure it has an Intel processor and a solid state hard drive. Those are the 2 biggest features that you'll probably like because it'll make it run a lot faster, smoother, and last a lot longer. So those are my
I have no idea what you're speaking right now.
Okay, write this down. So no, you just rewatch the video later.
Yeah, you're gonna have to text me that because I have no idea what you just said.
Well, just let me know before you go to buy that desktop. I'll let you know if it's gonna crap out in a year or not. So yeah.
Yeah, because as soon as I load a video, I have to. As soon as it loads onto YouTube, I have to immediately go through and delete every single thing that was involved with that video. Otherwise, I can't record another video on this phone.
Hutch, is it going to be your birthday soon? Because somebody's saying something about birthday cards.
My birthday's in October.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you might get it by October. So the bug out network. That's the question everybody wants to know, I'm sure. How'd you come up with that idea? Because it was all you.
Honest answer, I smoke a lot of weed and I have a lot of free time to think. So just ideas for the last couple of years. I've been writing ideas down, anything. I carry a journal with me at all times. That way, if I have an idea, I can write it down. I might need it 4 or 5 years down the road, or I might throw it away, but it's nice to have,
See, if I push this button down here and I pull this pin out, and then look, I can just write on my screen. Oh, there it goes. I can just write whatever on my screen, and then I just put the pin back in there, and then it saves that to my phone, and I can look at it later.
Hey, you keep your witchcraft. I'm gonna keep my old school.
Witchcraft. I don't do no witchcraft. That's against the Bible.
No, I've been journaling because like my grandma, she kept track of everything. They're like backwoods. When I grew up, it was 16, 17 of us on the same property. If grandma moved, we all moved. You know what I mean? And she kept track of everything. So I'm trying to do the same thing.
What do we call those? I don't know. I forget the term we use. It sounds like, wow, I guess we can call it a cult. Was it a cult there, Hutch?
A compound. It might have been.
That's what I'm looking for. Compound, not cult. Sorry.
All I know is I had 6 uncles that would gladly whoop my ass any chance they got. So.
Oh yeah, I've had family like that. My grandmother used to, or great grandmother used to follow everybody around with a big old thick King James and give you some Jesus by slapping you on the head with it. And yeah, a lot of them got Jesus. I don't know if it stuck, but a lot of them got it. We hope it stuck for some of them.
Probably yeah, I've been, so I've got like 30, since I started this homestead, I actually started journaling. So I write down everything. Eventually I'm going to try to, make it pretty and typed out, printed out. That way the kid can keep passing it down. Since we're the ones who started, from bare land, you know what I mean? they can have the
How
full
did
story.
you decide on the property you're on?
We looked at the states first and figured out, California, New York, wasn't no way in hell that was ever going to happen. You know what I mean? So it was basically cost of living, the landscape. I like Nevada and stuff like that, but I've got to have trees. You know what I mean? So Missouri, just after everything, looking at the city councils, the schools, the wildlife, what you can hunt, things like that. How good is the land for farming? And
Do you do a lot of hunting?
I have, but I'm not really a big hunter. I mean, I've got guns, I know how to use them, but as far as they're just there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really like hunting unless I need absolutely every single thing from that animal. I really don't go hunting. You know what I mean? If I've got a freezer full of food, then I'm like, well, I'd rather look at it than,
Hey, Alaska Prepper is in the house. How's it going, big brother? Glad you could make it. Yeah, it's always fun when Alaska Prepper shows up. We still got to get Victor on the channel live with me, because that would just be a fun. I don't know if it'd be fun. It might get me banned if Victor was live with me. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? So the Bug Out Network, where we are at right now, as I'm sure you already know, is right about, it's kind of tapered off a little bit. So we're right about 40 locations still. We have probably about 20 people that are in need of using the network, and about another 20 people that are offering to help in whatever way they can, and trying to organize it. So you set up the basically inventory type of system for it, which is greatly appreciated, and I'm still waiting on that mail. I didn't make it to my P.O. box today, which I really want to, because I have a lot of sorry, I'm distracted by an email.
Well, it's coming in from the post office, so it'll be there when it gets there, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the P.O. box just because it was dumping snow, and I had some errands to run this morning, and the P.O. box was in the opposite direction of where I was going, and I just was done driving through the snow by the time I got back. So, yeah. Yeah, the P.O. box is probably a good 20-minute drive from my house at least. And in the snow with the people, how they drive, you know how people drive in the snow. So you're not originally from Missouri, I take it?
I kind of am. I was born in Las Vegas, and then we moved to Modesto or something like that, California, until I was about 2, and then we moved to Pleasant Hill, and then from there we jumped 17 different towns after that. So
a lot of moving then, huh?
Just no one place, just Missouri. You know what
I mean? I got an email from the person again for anybody who wants an update. They're still kicking it, or not kicking it. Anyway, they said they're doing better. So I'll just leave it at that. So, amen.
It's good to hear.
It is. Now we just got to deal with Trusting God First over there being a troll in the chat. Trust, you're not a very good troll. I've seen way better. So did you see that fiasco that was on Prepper Nation last night? I seen you in the chat a couple of times.
Yeah, I was trying to get in, but the green room was always full. So I was like, I was just jumping around from live to live. I seen, you know what I mean? I seen the drunk chick at the end.
You want to give an opinion on that?
That made it all worth it.
It really did.
It did.
I mean, that was just, yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
See, that right there reminds me of every day why I don't drink. Yeah. I'm too big to do anything like that.
I have not gotten to that point in drinking in a very, very long time. A very long time. Because I lived with some relatives that were alcoholics and constantly fighting and arguing and punching each other and breaking things, and it just kind of puts you off toward it. So I never wanted to be that much out of control. So every now and then, just to to relax myself or whatever, I'll have a beer or maybe a nip. But yeah, it's still sitting next to me from yesterday. I had no intention on actually drinking any of it yesterday, but when that woman just kept going on and on, I was like, I need a shot.
We love you, Marie Hemp. It's all love.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad used to work at a liquor store, and when I was probably 14, 15, 16 in that range, and he'd bring me home a box, 40s of St. Ides, Wild Irish Rose, Cisco, Mad Dog, all that stuff. And that was back when I was running the streets, so that was breakfast. I never got drunk. I've never been drunk once in my life, no matter how much I drank. So when it got to the point to where I could actually buy it, I'm like, I'm not going to spend money on this shit.
So we, the people prepping, asked, what is in your spank bank? That's what we, the people, asked.
I plead the fifth.
Good answer. That's a good answer.
My wife?
There you go. That's the best answer. Mulberry Homestead's in the house. How's it going? I see B Charming out there. Prepper Wizard. Every time I see Prepper Wizard, I just think we're all about to be in trouble. Prepper Cook, thank you for the super chat. So did I hear Alaska Prepper could possibly give some direction on stacking precious metals? Yes, he can. He is the go-to expert on such topics, and yeah, just follow any of his live streams, ask him the question. I think he's still in the chat. You could ask him there. I'm sure he would be happy to tell you about where he gets it and what he suggests. Now, silver, I believe silver is the go-to. I don't have any silver. If anybody wants to donate silver to my cause, I'll take it.
I got a quick question about that. As far as stockpiling, whatever the word is, silver and gold and stuff like that, is it, if shit hits the fan, actually does happen to where it's a barter system?
Mm-hmm.
How useful is that actually going to, how long would it be before that's an actual accepted currency other than, survival items?
Immediately would be acceptable currency. It just depends on the person.
But
really. With a lot of preppers, you might get a little bit of it, but with the federal government, it's an immediate thing. They'll take it. They'll take anything you have to give them. Really, when I think of bartering, I think of people who have a lot of extra stuff, and they have no use for whatever it is. They have extra stuff, and they're trying to build wealth to use when the collapse is done and things start to rebuild. That's my thoughts behind it. So I think maybe
that's what I was wondering. That's pretty much, you save that to where even that might be generations down the road, potentially, before that it actually has any kind of value again, right?
Yeah, it could very well be, but there's some people that'll take it immediately. Government officials probably will take it immediately, but for the basic majority of us, me and you, if I was trying to barter something with you, you're not going to give me what I want for a coin. I'm going to have to give ammo, food, water, things like this. So yeah, I don't see it as a short-term bartering item. I think the biggest short-term barter items are going to be tobacco, alcohol, number one and number two, because that's where most people are going to turn to, and a lot of people that use such things, they're going to be looking for it. They're going to want it. And yeah, it's going to be a good, quick way to get some extra ammo, some extra food, extra water, if they have it on hand and you have, plenty of extra alcohol or tobacco products.
Yeah, because I always wondered about that. I knew if you sell it to the government, then basically you're like right at the point, but then you're dealing with the government, or it was always kind of a toss up. Like, I don't know if it's actually, like, for me, I don't see it as an actual viable option. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make no sense for me.
Yeah, think of it more like investing for long term. You're putting it away to hold on to some wealth for long term, such as if, after a collapse, suddenly things start going back to whatever you want to call normal, and IRS or some other agency comes knocking on your door saying, "Hey, you've owed us taxes for the 2 years we haven't been here," and then you could here, take this bunch of junk that I don't need in the form of silver or whatever. That's what I see it as, really.
That makes sense. I was just, that's just always like, it's, I don't know. It's
All right. Gray Man Prepping wants to know what you use for your beard. Any oils or conditioners? He says it's beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yes, it's very nice. Once a week shampoo, twice a week condition. That's it. Well water. Play in the creek every once in a while. Get that shit nappy. That way it stays straight. You know what I mean?
Let's see. I'm missing a comment here. Silver and gold is not for SHTF. It's for after the dust settles. Get prepared first. That's what Alaska Prepper says.
I was just wondering, Alaska Prepper, I mean, we're all learning, man.
Yeah. So, Bug Out Network. Shall we chat about it?
Let's do it.
All right. So, I have a friend who has been organizing groups, a very good friend from like forever. He has been organizing similar, not really bug out type groups, but more along the lines of unions and things like this. And he has pitched a lot of very good ideas. Basically, the general idea is to set it up as a nonprofit organization with a legal form of 501c nonprofit. Legally, it would be considered a tax exempt recreational or social club. The definition to fit is having limited membership. You achieve this by having dues being paid by members with no open public services. The organization doesn't have to pay taxes on income, but can own property. So, going further into that, he was also suggesting if we start collecting, like we were saying originally, it was probably going to have some kind of a cost for membership or possibly even a subscription type service if we do the dues type of thing, that we would be able to put the majority of that back into it. And for long-term goals, we could actually use that organization and the income coming from it to purchase pieces of property, such as mining claims and other small pieces of property to set up legitimate bug out locations to be able to make sure we have the supplies needed for whoever shows up at said bug out location already on site, and a place where people could stay more long term other than just the short stopovers of grab and go type situations that we're looking at right now. So I think personally it's a good idea. I think it would definitely be a good idea to set it up that way.
I think a nice chunk of land that's full of nothing but like-minded preppers, it'd be pretty fucking sweet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Centralize it. We could put the chunk of land somewhere centralized, but basically what he's talking about there is setting up more than one chunk of land, having several different ones scattered throughout wherever we need it. Because right now we are in probably only about 15 out of 50 states. We got, I think just in Indiana alone, we have 4 locations. I know we got at least 2 in Missouri. I mean, we're mostly on the East Coast. So if we could set up something like this to where we could have property being owned by the nonprofit organization, that still makes it so nobody else has a name attached to it. It's owned by the organization, not an individual person. So it's still anonymous for everybody included into this. Other suggestions were to make sure that the members have full access to see the funds coming in and where they're going, to make sure that, basically my concern when I was talking to him about it was I don't want people to think I'm doing this for money, because that's not the whole point. Yeah. That's not the point at all. That was never the point. But there is a cost to it because we're now trying to set up the challenge coins and things like that, and that's an upfront cost of over $600, as I was saying, for the minimum purchase. And then we have the cost of printing, we have the cost of mailing, we have the cost of mapping, and to further that, if we get into, like he was talking about, a nonprofit organization where we're collecting more income, we could actually set designated people to go to certain locations, check on the supplies. We could make it all a uniform, very organized thing to where the supply cache at every individual location has the same stuff in it. We could also set up a constitution, if you will, with all the bug out locations or all the network locations, so that everybody has, a set list of rules that everyone should follow. And we could set up basically a council type thing here, to where not one person's making the decisions on every single thing, but there's a voting process that goes through all these decisions on these certain things. And then we could set up, like we're already doing, we're excuse me, we're setting up regions right now to better track everything, but we could also set up regional coordinators through the network this way, by having it better organized through a, like he's saying, a nonprofit organization. The concern I also had when he was telling me about this was keeping it off grid, because the whole purpose of this is keeping it off grid. And he said, well, basically they're not going to bother you as a nonprofit organization. They're more likely to bother you what we're doing now, because when they start seeing these odd purchases and they start seeing people coming together like this, they're more than likely going to try to come in and collect taxes, or going to come in and audit. They're going to come in and say, what are you doing? But if you have a nonprofit organization set up, then they have, the idea that, oh, you're just setting up a club, like a motorcycle club, like a union hall type of thing, things people already do in similar manners. So we just set it up in basically the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense doing it that way. Because, yeah, that would be, I guess, I've been kind of thinking of something along those lines for a while, to where that would be an awesome dream project. Because we were thinking something, because after I get this land paid off in a couple of years, I'm buying more land. You know what I mean? And I want it to be kind of like, if we could have different regions, can grow different things. Like, out west, you can get your pomegranates and your, all avocados and stuff like that. If you had enough properties, it would be a nice way to have a decent supply line, really. If you had homesteaders from the West Coast, can just pass stuff along, to each bug out location, and each region passes a different kind of food. You know what I mean? Something like, you know what I mean?
So B Charming says, take your chance. As soon as you go on papers, they will know it all. And what's the point? What makes you think they don't already know it all? That's my question to that. I mean, there is nothing we can do where they can't track it. There is absolutely nothing. We could pass letters from me to you to the next person, and they would know if they wanted to know. There's no absolute way to keep this off grid. We do our best to keep it off grid by, using the mail services, but they can read letters without even opening them. I've seen the scanners. They can do it. I've seen it. I mean, I've been into these facilities. They can do it. I mean, a lot of people suggest wrapping the letters in tinfoil and then shoving it in the envelope, but even that's questionable. So there is no way to
be important. Anything important wouldn't be, it'd be face-to-face communication to begin with. So really because I was kind of worried about that too. I was leery about it, but we haven't really said anything other than, just simple conversation. So what we're doing now really isn't, track worthy, if that makes sense. I mean,
exactly. But then when you start having a lot of people sending supplies, sending this and this to other people, and then if you put 1 and 2 together, where these people are connected to this underground network that, they're trying to hide from you. So basically the best way to hide is right in plain sight is the general concept of that.
Because it's the same concept. If anybody's ever been to, there's some VFW halls, you have to be a paid member to get into. Like in Kansas, over in Olathe, Kansas, they've got all kinds of bars and lounges, but you have to be a member to actually go in. You know what I mean? It's the same concept. I mean, it's.
So Homestead Awe says a nonprofit has to show spending an annual agenda, and that is not entirely accurate, because if you set it up as a social club, such as that's what, yeah, here I'll read it again. What was it? A social club, I think is what he said. Recreational or social club, then your agenda is just for people to gather. Your agenda never changes. Now, showing um, the spending, it doesn't necessarily have to be shown because it's not taxable. In the United States, it's just not taxable. You can't tax a nonprofit organization. You just have to prove that you're not pocketing a bunch of money. And as long as you're doing this open with the members of the organization, as long as everybody can see what is being spent between the people, and you don't have to say necessarily, I bought, 10,000 pounds of rice and sent it to this area. You can say, I bought supplies or just
Mhm.
food supplies and send it to this area. You don't have to be
Well,
exact when you're
you
working
can
with a nonprofit.
buy $5,000 worth of sewing stuff, and it's recreation because for a lot of people it is recreation. So you know what I mean?
Exactly. We were using all those watermelons for target practice. I mean, it's just I mean, there is a risk involved, and it's just an idea we're kicking around. There's no guarantee we're going to do it. It's just there has to be a way to keep them out of it because they are going to come looking when a bunch of people start gathering, start doing certain things. The biggest concern is obviously the Pony Express type of system where we're basically setting up a mail system that's off the grid that is bypassing the government's already set up mail system. When you start doing things like this, somebody's going to notice, somebody's going to troll it, somebody's going to tell on you like they're a big baby, and then you're going to have to, answer a lot of questions. But if you have a nonprofit organization set up, then you've already answered those questions, and then they control all they want, and there ain't nothing nobody can do about it. So, JT, welcome to the party. Josh the Prepper, how's it going? Thank you, Josh, for posting that link. I forgot to put it in the description, but Josh is posting Hutch's link to his YouTube channel in the chat. Please go over there, flood his channel with gremlins. He needs gremlins. You need a gremlin shirt. I think you'd like a gremlin shirt.
Take the sleeves off of it.
It has t-shirt. I have t-shirts on there too. It doesn't have sleeves, so. Or you talking about cutting them all the way up to here? See, I can make the tank top type things too. I just never bothered to do so, but I can't.
You got shoulders breathe, man.
Yeah. Okay. I don't gamble, but I've been buying Powerball and Mega Millions every week because if I get lucky buying a lot of property and making communities, Sheila, I would hate to tell you this, but that's gambling. I mean, if you're spending money in for the opportunity,
$700 million that thing is.
what was that?
$700 million is what that Powerball is at.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. I really
That's
just
crazy.
I don't pay attention to it at all.
That's why I keep telling my wife. She's like, "We need to go buy some Powerball." I was like, "No, buy me some Show Me Cash. You win $500 million, everybody in the damn world's gonna know who you are. You win $150,000, people don't give two shits." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I haven't had a lottery ticket in years. Do you realize that you have a better chance of being struck by lightning twice than winning that lottery, right? Twice. What's the chances of being struck by lightning? And you have a better chance of getting hit twice. I mean, what's the point? It's just a waste of money, in my opinion.
At $2 is 2 packs of blunts. Can't do that.
Yeah, you could look at it like that. Check out Whitetail Properties. I'll have to look into that. What's Whitetail Properties? I check out Land Watch every time I start dreaming about getting my own homestead because that's really the ultimate goal for me as well.
Land Watch is where I found my property at.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy how it happened too, because we were just sitting up we lived at a state park up north by St. Joe. It was 2,000 square foot house, literally backed up to the lake, nice manicured yard, all that HOA bullshit. You know what I mean?
I
And
hate those things.
yeah, I slowly wore it down. We, watching the prepper shows and, Mountain Men and Alone, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I grew up like this. I was like, I can do it. Finally, we just wore down, me and the boy, and we were like, I mentioned it one day playing around. I was like, hey, let's get some land and just fucking do it. She's like, sure, why not? I was like, are you serious? I was like, boom. 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, huh?
Yep. I
That's
was like,
how
you
long it
ain't
took you to
changing
find the
my mind.
property?
Hmm?
It only took you 2 weeks to find property?
No, the actual, once we got the state, because we were looking at 2 other properties, but they sold right out from underneath us. We drove, 5 hours down here to look at it, and he sold it like an hour before we got there without even, you know what I mean? He knew we were coming. Kind of a dick move. So
Yeah.
we knew the
Suppressor
general
Wizard
area.
says you can get a 20-acre claim in Utah for under 500, and that's exactly what we were talking about with the nonprofit organization. Because if we start purchasing land like that, just even if it's only $5 or $500 or whatever, if we start purchasing land like that, that's when it starts throwing up red flags to, certain 3-letter named organizations that are going to come and treat you like you're in Waco and start burning you out. I mean, so, it's the long term goal isn't to the short term goal isn't to set up a nonprofit organization, but the long term goal is to be able to have more locations and actual bug out locations for people to go to. So having, like a mining claim or a land claim or mineral rights or whatever it requires in certain states, each state is different on these topics. But, in order to do that, you have to have a nonprofit organization, because you don't want, say, just somebody like myself having all these properties in my name, because then what happens if I pass away and somebody, my next of kin, decides they're a jackass and then takes the land away and kicks everybody off of it? You don't want it set up like that. So that's another reason to have a nonprofit organization. So it's set up in a group entity, and the group has control of it. So not just, one individual person.
Yep.
But yeah, I guarantee you, if anybody's paying attention, I mean, I've said it before. I've had somebody say they was ex-CIA send me emails about this network already. They know. They already know. The biggest thing is to keep the locations as anonymous as possible. And it's not 100% foolproof, and it never will be. It just,
Yeah,
it's
we've
impossible.
already got trolls about it too. We've had a
Oh,
few
yeah.
trolls.
Somebody trolling you?
Every once in a while, like, you know what I mean? Somebody will try to throw out a sly comment. But
Yeah, I've had a few here or there. I've had more emails about, I don't know, offering more emails that threw up red flags. Let's just put it that way. Offering help, but just something about it was like, I don't think I need military intelligence to help me. I
yeah,
just think that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Mr. Military Intelligence, but
yeah, I've got a couple resumes, and I'm like, it's not that serious, man. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I don't need the assassin network to join. We're not looking for that kind of thing. Uh, yeah, I've had a few of them around Discord as well. A few of them. I've gotten some private messages here or there, but it's to be expected. It really is. If you start trying to
appreciate it, guys.
set up something like this, it's expected.
Yeah, it's just not that serious yet.
It's getting
Calm
there.
down. Yeah.
So we are still setting up the challenge coin type of thing. We've actually been offered assistance from Angry Prepper with that particular thing, because he was the one who pitched the idea to me about that. So he offered assistance, which is good because we're going to need assistance. And basically, the challenge coins will be for network users. They'll be able to use it for an identifier to identify themselves to the network locations. Each challenge coin is going to have a region code on it, and the region code is going to let the network know that yes, you're you and you're in the right place. So that is one goal for it. Currently, we're looking at having the coin actually made out of silver. So in the event you don't ever use it for bug out network, you might be able to sell it to somebody. So I mean, it's a thought. Um, Lake Fury Prepper says, ask Hutch about escape tunnels from home to get outside. Have you been digging escape tunnels?
I know. I'm at it's. If I was at a different property, it's on my dream list. Like I said, this property here, I'm gonna make it to where I'm making enough money off of this one to pay for the next property, because this isn't deep enough in the woods for me. So the boy's getting this one with the condition that he doesn't touch the farm area, you know, and keeps working it. And I'm going deep into the woods, and I want something with tunnels and all that, you know, crawl spaces. My wife thinks I'm too old to get down and crawl through tunnels and shit like that. I was like, I'll do it just to prove a point.
Just make it big enough for you to walk through. Why crawl?
Hey,
I mean, it doesn't have to be but 5 foot. You can hunch over.
You start getting into 4 or 5 foot tall pipes, that's some money right there.
Well, you don't use pipes. You just use like they do with mining shafts. You can just, you know, brace them with wood, make wood frame archways, and you don't have to make it the entire length of the tunnel. You can put them, space them out like every 6 to 10 feet, and yeah, I mean, really, that's all they ever did with mining tunnels anyway. So you might have
my skills enough to do that.
Oh, I could build that. I mean, that's easy for me. Just build an arch. It's math. I don't know. I used to build houses. I used to remodel and build houses, so I know a lot about building things like that. Still can't work on my car though.
I hillbilly build. I don't have a straight line or cut on anything.
Well, don't got to be straight. It's just got to be strong.
Depends on how wore out I am by the time I get around to it, I guess.
Yeah, you get to the last 3 posts and they start collapsing in while you're trying to run through the tunnel. One thing to think about if you are doing tunnels like that, even if you're just doing crawl space and pipe type tunnels, is how you're getting ventilation through there, because eventually you'll run out of air and you're going to want to be able to, you know, pipe some air into there somehow.
I've already thought about that too. 2-inch PVC pipe about every 10 or 15 foot. And as soon as you get up top, you plant like a blueberry bush with thorns or something like that. There's 4 of them right around that pipe. That way, boom, pipe's always concealed. Fresh air intake.
Shows up at Hutch's house, knows to look for the blueberry bushes if they want to smoke him out of his tunnels. Gotcha.
Oh.
Rose bushes would be a good alternative too. Decorative.
Yeah. Or make some concrete tree stumps.
Yeah, you can do that. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Lake Fury Prepper, I will have to check that out. That sounds interesting. I haven't really been watching much YouTube the last, I don't know, week. It started to get stressful. Everybody's just always talking about the same thing, and I'm having enough, you know, personal issues that I'm not going to mention. And between that and all of the crap that's going on, I mean, it was just getting stressful. So I've just basically taken some time off of YouTube. So yeah, I just needed a break. I haven't really been reading much news other than the people kept posting the death toll about this shot, and so I decided to make that video actually last night after that thing. What do you think about it? What do you think's going to happen here on the 20th? Any thoughts?
Yeah. I'm not 100% on any one idea. It's, you know, I'm just trying to be open to any possibility. It's too unpredictable to this close. I mean, I don't know. There might be violence. It could all be bullshit. You know what I mean?
Most likely.
Life going smoothly. You know what I mean? And they'll just nitpick us to death for the next, year and a half or so. I don't know.
That's the most likely scenario, in my opinion, that everything's just going to go, and they're just doing it all for show, just because.
Yeah, because a lot of us, like where I'm at out here, it'd be a while before any of that stuff actually affects me. You know what I mean? The worst they could do to me is shut off my power, and wow, I'll burn
Yeah.
some wood. So I mean, people in the city have a different perspective. Usually, they got more reason to be scared of things like that. But I try to see it from their side, but I've been out here so long that what I mean. I'm kind of don't have empathy for people in the city anymore because I'm like, well, you're still there. I mean, I know some people are stuck, but
Yeah, I know some people who think they're stuck at least. I've met people that really are stuck, but I know some people who think they're stuck, and you're really not. I mean, you're really not. You can
yeah.
rent, you could rent a mobile home outside of a city that is far enough out. It may be in a mobile home park, but that's probably about a couple 100,000 people less than what you were dealing with in that city. Just general numbers there, depending on where you live. I mean, if you're in some place like New York, then you're looking at a couple million people less than what you were dealing with in that city. So
See, that's what gets me is because like here it's less than $750 every month for every one of my utilities, all the buildings, the land, the lights, everything. And I'm like, well, that's not even half of what probably Angry Prepper pays for his damn apartment. You know what I mean? And my stuff will be paid off in about 2 years. I'm like, if you take a year's worth of salary from New York and bring that shit to Missouri or Alabama,
you're rich.
You're set right off the gate. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people might be, I don't know if scared's the right word, but they're so used to the routine and they think they've got to be stuck in this line. I've got to go to college. I've got to get this job. I've got to do the 401k. People are, there's no more imagination. Everybody's just, got to go to work, got to go to work, got to do this, take the kids to soccer practice, football practice, got to go shopping, got to.
The biggest thing is the work, though, the salary that they're getting from these places, because when not everybody, but when you live there, typically, a $50,000 a year job in one location pays $75 to $100,000 a year in that location. So when you move from one place to another, you take a huge pay cut, and they really make it impossible for you to save when you're living in a city because you have so many expenses with utilities and things like that being outrageous.
Yep, that all comes down to how bad you actually want something. I've known many of people who have, there's these people, that's all, they had 3 kids, husband and a wife, and they just lived in a school bus for 5 years straight. Just made it a camper, boom, they just had an empty lot, parked a school bus, done. After that 5 years, all that money they saved on mortgage and all this stuff, they just bought their stuff flat out, boom, done, paid for it. Ain't got to ask nobody for nothing, don't owe nobody nothing. So
exactly.
It's all about commitment level. You know what I mean? How uncomfortable are you going to be to try to reach a goal, pretty much?
Yep, and that's the biggest thing with the problems I see around the country is the comfort level. Everybody's just too content and too comfortable. I mean, you'll never have any kind of revolution as long as people are so comfortable, and they know that. So that's why they give you a stimulus check, and that's why they make it so that they can't kick you out of your rental property because you're comfortable. I mean, they don't want you to be uncomfortable because that goes against their agenda.
That's why I keep my son he's obsessed. He's only 16, so he doesn't know a world before cell phones and all that shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I keep trying to tell him because the boy takes pictures, like he's a 15-year-old girl. You know what I mean?
Of himself?
Yeah, Instagram, all this, I'm like, technology has only been around for about 100 years, but yet it's already erased hundreds of thousands of years of, civilization. And I don't know, people get too caught up in that stuff and they forget how life used to be or how it should be. There's something other than that screen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if people just put down their screens and took a look around what's actually going on around them. I mean, just
put them down until the stream's over. As soon as this stream's over, you can put them down until I think Native or Tribe goes live. But then,
Yeah, who's going live next? I know Prepper Nurse 1 goes live in about an hour. I don't know who else goes live around that same time. So many people go live now at the same time. It's hard to keep up.
Oh, that's why I just end up hopping around. I did that live with Native a while back, and it messed up my sleep schedule. So now I get to stay up late and watch everybody's lives at night.
Yeah, I got to get Native on my channel. I really do, because that would be a fun live stream. It would. Let's see. Well, we're over an hour already, which I hadn't realized until I looked at that little ticker up there in the corner. What do you want to talk about? Shall we answer some questions?
Let's answer some
more time to kill.
Let's answer some questions. I ain't doing nothing.
All right. So if you got a question, put it in all caps.
We're not answering anything from trust.
Yeah.
You know I love you, brother.
Well, thank you, Hutch. I'm not sure how to take that after you said you were going to be the husband and John was going to be the wife, though. I mean, yeah, I don't know how to take that. I'll back my chair up just a little bit. I think I got my chair to stay up this time. It's actually up and not sinking. You know, I say that and I'm probably going to sink again, but yeah, try not to. Grim is not the mistress. Trust in God first. I had to say Grim is the mistress. No, that's John. John's the mistress. I don't know. I think if Angry Prepper's still there, I think he's going to be the husband and you're going to be the wife, Hutch.
Nah.
Nah.
I'm scrappy.
So? Oh, you're scrappy? I don't know. How about Bear Independent? I think he got you. No? Angry Prepper?
There's millions of people out there that could whoop my ass. So it could go either way, but I'm going to let you know I'm there.
Okay. I think they're already going to know you're there. That's the whole purpose of the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, this stream has gone a little bit. Anyway, let's answer some questions.
I told my wife that I was going live with you tonight, and I showed her, your channel, and she was like, was this the guy that was talking about the lighter in the butt from the prison pocket conversation? That's the only time. That's the only thing from YouTube that I've showed her, that she's seen, and that's what she remembers.
I wasn't the one talking about it. Somebody had said it on a live, and I was like, what is a prison pocket? And I kind of thought about it after I asked the question. I'm like, oh, I don't want to know the answer to that.
She was like, what the hell is he talking about? I was like, it wasn't him. It was in the chat.
Exactly. A prison pocket. Who comes up with these terms? Sean M says, Hutch, how many acres do you own?
3.
3?
Just a little over 3, yeah.
I got to scroll up. I was missing some chat. Sheepdog Syndicate says, why was my live feed lagging last night during the asylum? That question you're going to ask John or your internet service provider. There's so many
on 2 screens?
Huh?
It seemed like he was watching on 2 streams.
Yeah, he has either 2 monitors or 2 setups, because I have this pulled up on StreamYard here where I'm actually seeing you live, and then it has like a minute or about a 30-second delay where I can see the comments. For some reason, the comments are faster there than they are on StreamYard, but I could also pull it up on my tablet and watch it there too and see the comments.
Same on my phone. Sheepdog.
Yeah, probably. Were you watching 2 streams? Oh, yeah. If you weren't watching it on the StreamYard platform, that's why it was lagging, because a lot of people were watching it on YouTube instead of watching it on StreamYard, and you needed to have like a earbud or something like that and be watching it on StreamYard to hear live what everybody's saying and to not cause a massive echo like several people were doing, which was like literally giving me a headache. We're going to have a how-to video before he does the next one of how to use the StreamYard platform, because that's what everybody was using with StreamYard. That's what we're on right now. And yeah, if you can earbud, unless you have a device that isn't very loud and you can hear it, so I can't, I mean, yeah. Is it true there are UN troops below the wall? Probably, but I haven't seen or heard anything about it, to be honest with you. Have you?
About at the beginning of the year, somebody showed me something about a whole bunch of UN trucks being shipped across country here in America on the back of trains and stuff. But I lost track of the story.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really concerned with foreign entities invading. I'm just not. You know, we talk about how many gun owners there are in the United States. They'd have to fight for every single yard they went into. Well, for the most part. I mean, you know, if they started on the West Coast, they'd probably just give it to them. But right.
See, that's where I'm torn. I don't really think it would. I think it is. It's not a big possibility. I mean, it might be a 0.5%, but I think it's actually more doable. I think there's a lot more pussies in America than people want to actually acknowledge.
You know what I mean? But even then, so they're scared and they'll be hiding under their bed with a shotgun and somebody busts through their door. I mean, when people get scared and desperate, they do drastic things like run out into the street, just pop, 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 you know?
Yeah. Because it's like, if you actually think about it,
Mexico right now,
cities, the whole East Coast. If you come down the whole West Coast, you know, Washington, Oregon, California, I really don't put it past them allowing, you know, ships full of immigrants to come into their sanctuary cities and, you know, not do a single thing about it. Because, I mean, if you control the cities as far as the gun laws, if you control the cities and so much of the, you know, outside of the city limits for your own personal, just to take care of that city, I don't think they'd really care too much about us people out here in the country. They'd just be, you know, those people out there that's, you know, not worth hunting down. It's like, if we ever see them, we'll get them, but it's not worth hunting down. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does. So Prepper Nation just showed up in the chat. How's it going, John? I'd like to introduce you to John. You're up. And now I'm not going to say it. People
just because I want to keep it fair, I'll take his last name if it makes him feel better.
Okay. Well, John, I asked him the question. You know which question I'm talking about. And apparently, John, you're the bottom in that relationship. So like,
I chose spam.
I don't get it.
I chose spam.
If you're gonna go to all the question says is go to the mountain with him. It doesn't say you have to sleep in the same tent. I mean, everybody's all, you know, ready to commit suicide over it, and it's just like, guys, get your own tent.
Yeah.
What's that say? Northern Girl Hobbies. Thank you for joining the coffee club and supporting my coffee habit. Cheers.
What's up, Northern Girl? I'm working on that tinfoil hat challenge right now. Well, not like at this second. All morning I've been working on it.
You were working on what challenge?
Tinfoil hat challenge.
Oh, a tinfoil hat challenge. That's what you've been doing all day, is trying to put together a hat?
Pretty much.
See, it'd be easy for me. I just wrap it around this.
Oh, I'm getting fancy.
Oh, fancy.
I'm going to 21, man.
Well, if I wanted to get fancy, I could just line the whole thing perfectly and make it smooth, you know, and just, yeah. It would work, right?
I haven't figured out an ending yet.
Uh-oh.
Just
make your tinfoil hat look just like this one. That's all you gotta do. Okay, make it look
I tried to make it look like my beanie, but the damn thing wouldn't fold right. Kept ripping on me.
Well, you got to do it in layers.
Yeah. That stuff's expensive. I got to be careful how I use it.
That's what I was thinking. You'd be spending $100.
Yeah.
Go to Costco. They sell the big rolls. It's like the big rolls, and they sell them by, you know, I think it's like a 3 or 4 pack. It'll last you a while.
I think the closest Costco to me is like 80 miles.
It's worth the drive, right?
No, it ain't that serious.
If you were a truck driver, that's nothing. 80 miles is like, you could take a nap while you're doing 80 miles.
I know, but I'm old and I got night blindness. You know what I mean?
Night
road rage.
Drive during the day. Yeah, being a truck driver gives you road rage. I could tell you all about some road rage. I have yelled at more people that couldn't hear me than ever in my life driving trucks. And it's not just semis, too. Dump trucks, same way. I mean, you
Here's a
develop.
PSA, people. Use your damn blinker, okay? And if there's no fog outside, turn off your damn fog lights. Please. Thank you.
Refill your blinker fluid. Remember to top off your blinker fluid, everyone.
Oh, and if I flash my headlights at you to let you know there's a cop or a deer in the road up ahead, you better fucking wave at me. Ungrateful sons of bitches.
Oh man, how about those really bright headlights everyone has now? Those bright white ones that look like the beam on my flashlight that just blind you at night. I mean, I think everybody has night blindness now because of those things. Those things are
I
horrible.
literally have to close my eyes. I have to look at the shoulder and do one of these numbers as I pass it.
Yep, I have to do the same thing. Yeah, I got contacts in, so yeah, I have to do the same thing. It's so bright, it gives me a headache sometimes. I mean, I just can't believe they haven't passed a law about that yet. They pass laws about seatbelts, they pass laws about everything else, but there is no law saying how bright your headlights can be.
Yeah. You remember back in the day, back in the 90s, they had those really annoying ass blue headlights that all the little, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Everybody thought that was the coolest thing in the world. They used to blind the shit out of
being fast and furious, right?
Yeah.
Hey, look, Arkansas Living has showed up, and we were just talking about that hat. We were going to line it in tinfoil. That would take like what, a case?
At least
a case, right?
Hey, I just got to say that joke Arkansas told the other day on 101 about where he pretty much crickets. I got it, man. Truck stop jokes. I love it.
All right, you're gonna have to tell me the joke because I missed it.
I can't remember it. You got to have him. I can't. I'm having brain farts right now.
I don't think it's a brain fart you're having. Short-term memory loss.
Yeah, I'm old.
Looking out the window there, somebody walking up on you.
No, I'm in my shower, so I got my door right here, but I got a heater, so it's a fucking hot box. So I got to open the door to let some of this heat out.
So you're sitting in the shower right now? That's where you're at? That's where you record from? Because I was always wondering. I thought it was a room.
It's my shower room.
Like a regular like bedroom or something. That's what I assumed it was. You're sitting in the shower. John, he's sitting in the shower waiting on you. Where's John at? I got to say that. Liz Rambo says, always wondered if a trucker wants to merge in front of me, should I flash my lights at them? No.
Yes. As soon as that truck is a car length to 2 car lengths in front of you, you flash your lights and let him know he's clear to get over.
When he says flash your lights, don't flash your high beams. Turn off your headlights and turn them back on. When people flash their high beams, it hits the mirror, especially at night, on the giant mirror on the side of a truck and blinds the truck driver as he's trying to get over. And then he can't see if you decide to change your mind, and that's how people get run over. So, yeah, turn off your headlights and turn them back on. That's the way to go on that.
A good truck driver will tell you thank you by flashing his emergency lights for you real quick.
Or doing the kill all switch that just shuts all of his lights off and back on is what I always did, because it was always on the steering wheel of my Freightliner, so it was easier.
Yeah.
And I got to reach way over here to turn on the hazards, and I can just hit that button on my steering wheel. Yeah. But I started having problems driving through cities like Chicago, Indianapolis. I had it a lot in Atlanta, Dallas, where people, when they were passing me, they would turn on their high beams just to let me know they were there. Yeah. Well, I got up behind somebody after they did it once because, man, yeah, I turned on my high beams. They didn't like it. Glenda, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Put them in all caps. Wolfeye says he is tongue tub doorknobs. You're licking tubs and doorknobs? I don't get it.
Ew.
I just don't get it. Thoughts on Wednesday? Well, we covered that a little bit. Hillbilly Homesteader says, thoughts on Wednesday. I think it's going to be just like any other Wednesday, personally.
Yeah. I don't expect nothing major to happen, really. I mean, there might be some small skirmishes. We already know if you show up and you're, you know, pro-Trump, you're going to be, you know, so it's.
A lot of people are saying that they expect a bunch of, I guess, left-wing groups to show up in Trump hats just to start trouble. That's what they
see. That's what I think. The more time goes on, the more I'm thinking that's pretty much all the White House thing was.
I agree. I mean? There's actually evidence of it. They've showed some people that helped, you know, supposedly organize that stormed the thing, which wasn't organized at all. But some of the people that were there wearing their Trump hats, and they showed proof that they were left-wing radical group members. So, oh well, what really about it?
When I actually looked at the pictures and stuff, it's, you know, just a bunch of Tide Pod eating sons of bitches that just wanted to Facebook stuff. You know what I mean? There was.
Yeah, I like the selfie pictures. The selfie pictures, like sitting at Feinstein's desk and Pelosi's desk. Now that was funny.
I'm just waiting to see somebody bust out one with, you know, duck face sitting up there on the chair somewhere.
Somebody should have gotten the Speaker of the House's chair and did duck face. That would have been epic. Yeah, I mean, so many people are supposedly being arrested now for going in there. How?
No,
what they do wrong?
That guy that was sitting in Pelosi's desk with his feet up on Pelosi's desk. He's down here from Arkansas, and I guess they had it in the news last night or the night before. I guess I don't know if he turned himself in. I think he did, but either way, they pretty much
I mean, they opened the door and let him in. I mean, there's videos of the officer standing on the side and letting them walk in. They opened and let the door in. So they didn't break and entering. And technically, that is a public building because taxes pay for it. What'd they do wrong? Yeah. What are they being arrested for?
Yeah.
The charge.
That's why there's too much. There's rumor and bullshit. And regardless what anybody says, conspiracy theories are real. Just for the simple fact that I know if I was in the government like that, I'd be doing all kinds of conspiracies. So I know these people, you know, everybody would. So
P. Charming says, do you know of the slow roll trucker protest starting near Joplin tomorrow?
Haven't heard about it.
My brother's things about it.
My brother's still a trucker. I'm gonna text him after a while and ask him what he's heard about it.
Yeah, let me know. Yeah, I've heard of a few people saying that it's supposed to happen, but we heard a lot of this, you know, back prior to, you know, when the election was actually decided that truck drivers were going on strike and this and that, and it never really happened. There were a couple pockets here and there, but it never really happened. So I just don't put much stock in it. Truck drivers are hard to coordinate when it comes to getting them all together, because for the majority of them, trucks don't even come with CB radios anymore. They don't even have ports. You have to put it in yourself, you know, yank out panels and rewire it up yourself. Most truck drivers don't have CBs. And when you're listening to a CB on the highway, channel 19, it's nothing but a bunch of idiots doing idiotic things and saying stupid stuff that you don't want to listen to. So you end up turning it back off anyway.
Unless you need a lot lizard at the truck stop.
Yeah, if you need a lot lizard, then yeah, flip on your CB. That's a good way to find you one. Where can I learn to fish? I can't kill Bambi. Glinda. Learn to fish? I mean, there are a lot of YouTube channels on basics of fishing. A lot of them. Just type in fishing on YouTube. You just start watching videos. That's how I learn pretty much anything nowadays.
Simple and basic. I don't know. I've only fished for one kind of fish in my entire life, and that's catfish. Put a worm on a hook, throw that sumbitch out, and just kick back and take a nap until you hear your pole start to freak out. You catch a fish.
Hold the pole until you feel it.
Yep.
I fish for catfish, bass, walleye. I used to catch a lot of bluegill just because it was easy. I can fish for anything.
I don't really like fish. I just like I like having an excuse to sit outside, pretty much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like that excuse also. But yeah, I like fishing. It's calming to me.
Yeah.
When I start my truck, the light comes on and stays on. Can't turn them off. The light or the lights, can't turn them off until I shut off the truck. Which light are you talking about, Eric Johnson? There's a lot of light.
Probably the fog lights if he's talking about a newer vehicle. Some of them damn Fords got them the 4 lights that stay on automatically, that shit kills me.
Do you think Trump has his stuff moved out yet?
I don't think he had much there to begin with.
Probably not. I mean, they really do provide everything. You bring, personal items, but that's about it.
I think everything he took there could probably fit in the back of one of them Suburbans.
Probably. Yeah, that is a good point.
You figure he's been public enemy since before day one. You know what I mean? There ain't no point in taking a whole bunch of shit when you're going into a war zone.
Is my hat biblical? No, it's Australian. Jelly worms work great. Trust in God. Are you talking about your diet?
I think he's talking about catfish bait.
Could be. I've never used fake bait for catfish. I use chicken liver. I've used Wheaties. I've used, just night crawlers. I mean, yeah.
Hot dogs work pretty good.
Hot dogs. I think I've used bologna once. We had bologna out there, and I wadded some up and put it on a hook, and yeah.
There is a plant. I want to say mullen, like Mullen. So I might be way off on that, but I've been looking into it, and apparently it's illegal to do this, so don't do it. But apparently there's some kind of way to where when the seed pod, when it grows up, it's about 5-6 foot tall, and there's a seed pod on the very top of it. You know what I mean? That's probably 2 foot tall. And then you crush all those seeds, and the oil from those seeds you put like in a pantyhose or something. And as soon as you put it in the water, any fish that comes in contact with it is supposed to be instantly paralyzed and float to the top. That's why it's illegal, because you can drain lakes pretty quick with it. But that's something that I've heard about. Yeah. I haven't actually tried it.
I gotta type that into my computer.
It almost, when I was growing up, I used to call it Indian tobacco because it's I think a lot of people call it deer tobacco and stuff like that. It's got all kinds of names, but it's just a weed.
It's Mullein. Can help with. It says it's illegal today. Crushed mullein seeds have been used for centuries as an effective fish poison. The crushed seeds released words I can't pronounce and into the water, and all compounds that can stun fish and bring them to the surface. That is very interesting. Thank you for that information. I will not use it because it's illegal.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't break the law, people.
Yeah, don't break that law. Bend it. Don't break it. Yeah. All right, so Blue Vandal says, so let's talk more on how to acquire lot lizards using CB radio. I can't be the only one who's curious. So
it's a pretty straightforward process. You just say, hey, I want some ass. I got $20. This is what color my truck is. 5 minutes later, good to go. So I hear.
So you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't have experience in this. You've just been told that, right?
World's oldest profession, man. Stop hating. Small business, man. Small business. Support small business.
Eric Johnson says, tried using my ex-wife for bait. All the catfish still stunk. So, yeah. Okay. Good to know. Channel 69 CB radio. I don't think it goes up to 69, does it? I think 40 is 40 is the highest channel on a CB.
I say 38, 39, I think is the highest I remember ever seeing.
I'm pretty sure it's 40. My portable CB sitting next to me, but I don't have batteries in there, I tell you. But I'm pretty sure it's channel 40.
Yeah, I think.
Liz Rambo says, I understand that truck drivers can't carry. That's wrong. That's incorrect information, Liz Rambo. It is a state-by-state law. It's not a federal mandate that truck drivers can't carry. That's just something they try to tell truck drivers because truck drivers tend to get robbed quite often, and truck drivers tend to want to defend themselves. And a lot of truck drivers will splatter people over the side of the road and leave them there and keep on driving. So that's why they try to put that in your mind that truck drivers aren't allowed to carry, but that's absolutely not true.
Yeah. A nice little side-by-side coach gun right there tucked behind the seat is always a very, very good option.
I always had a G19 on my hip, no matter where I went. Even in, I mean, I've driven dump trucks into military bases. I still had it on me. I'm not going anywhere without it. I'm just, it's like my whoopee. It's my little cuddly blanket. I need it. I can't, I don't feel at peace without it. So, yeah, I might pee myself if I don't have it. You know, all kinds of psychological aspects there.
I try to stay away from the truck stops though. Like in Kansas, they've got it to where just out in the middle of nowhere, dead smack in the middle of the highway, there's just a random truck stop. You know what I mean? I like
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. It's like if you've ever been to Wichita or down to
Iowa
Dallas,
80.
you don't stay in town. You know what I mean?
Ooh. Now I've been in Miami, and I mean, even if there was a truck, there were a couple of truck stops around the town there, but they were, first off, you had to pay to park there. Like I don't even remember how much, but you had to pay to park there. It was almost impossible to find an open spot. Even if you did pay for it and go in there, it was almost impossible to park there because the guy next to you was taking up both spots.
Yep.
And it's a very dangerous area. So you just don't do it. You just don't. You make sure you have enough time to get back out of there if you're going in there. And if you don't, you shut down before you get there and you call dispatch and you say, I ain't making it today. It's late.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah. You can't believe how many rookies I've seen try to back into those parking spots and just smash the front clip fucking so many trucks, man.
Oh, we got Flannel Gizmo in the house. How's it going, Arkansas? You gave yourself away yesterday. Says, I pee myself a lot. I look like that kid. Like that kid? Are you talking about? Okay, I won't say it. I won't say it. I'll let you handle that question. Go for it, Hutch.
I have no idea what they're talking about.
You're talking about me peeing myself. Said I look like a kid that pees myself.
Oh.
You weren't supposed to laugh.
I mean, hey, I don't know what you do in your private time.
I work. I work. So I'm I'll put it out there. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to set up a Kickstarter account and I'm going to try to build a prototype for a hat with a light in it, like the one I own, but better, because I don't like that one just due to the batteries it takes. It takes those little flat watch batteries that cost $10 for 4 of them. I can build a better hat with a rechargeable battery. So I'm going to set up a Kickstarter for it and try to make a prototype.
That works. Like a cowboy hat?
The headlights that stay on, 2001 Chevy Silverado.
Yeah. No shot about.
Pretty much all Chevys do that. I think from 2000 on, there's on the headlight switch. If you turn it all the way to the left, it's automatic headlights. They do that on purpose. But if you turn it all the way to
the problem right there is that you're driving a damn Chevy. Don't you know that's an Obama car? What is wrong with you?
Okay, why is Trump having a bunch of Suburbans if it's an Obama car?
It contracts, man. That's them.
I have a Suburban and a Dodge. And to tell you what I don't like, Ford. Don't like them at all.
Hey.
I don't. Find on road dead. Fix or repair daily. Anytime I've ever drove a Ford, it broke down. I mean, like almost 2 days later, it just completely broke down.
It's because you don't know how to fucking drive.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to drive. I really don't. I just wing it and hope for the best. Especially when I got 80,000 pounds and a 53-footer behind me. I'm just I go like
Chevys and new Fords.
I just go like this in my semi and hope nobody's in front of me.
I'll take an old Chevy muscle car and a new Ford truck. That's where I'll be happy with that.
Just exploring every pass as Obama drives a Dodge. A lot of people are out here bashing Fords currently. Ford has heated tailgates. Yeah, it's so that your hands don't get cold when you're pushing it.
Hey, I will say though, the electronic tailgate with all pussy. No.
Fords have beds, don't they? I mean, I seen a test Chevy versus Ford where Chevy dropped a bunch of bricks in the back of the Chevy, put some dents in it, and they dropped the same load of bricks in the back of the Ford, and it put a bunch of holes in the bed. So, yeah.
I think all this stuff nowadays don't make. You see people like the Lincoln trucks. Why would you pay $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for a truck that you're not going to use? Oh, it pisses me off. Truck is a tool.
They use it just to look pretty in their truck. They want to sit up higher.
I hate it.
Yeah, I've never, in my defense, my dad worked for General Motors. He was a machinist at Allison Transmission and built most of the transmissions for all 90s model Chevy trucks. So I've always had Chevys, just always, until I ended up with this Dodge that, yeah, I keep having to fix, oddly enough.
Yeah, my
And
mom's obsessed with those big old shag wagon, the big conversion vans.
oh yeah, no, no. But just to prove a point here, we have a 2003 Suburban. It's dumping a gallon of oil about a week. That's because the guy who didn't speak very good English didn't put the seal back on the thing very well, and I should probably climb under there and fix it. I just don't want to sit in the puddle of oil in the cold. But all the gauges have gone out on the thing. It's probably just a relay, and other than that, you dump some oil in it, and the thing still runs just fine. I mean, I haven't had any trouble with it other than I had to replace the throttle body in it like several years back. That was about it. I mean,
I know I can't really talk too much shit. My old lady wants a single cab Chevy, jacked up a little bit. Like,
I like the 3/4 ton single cabs. Those are nice. I mean, not the new ones. I like the 90s versions.
yeah, I like the square body style more than I like the rounded style.
Yeah, I think they got some 2015s that have more of the square body style. But yeah, I mean, the first vehicle I ever drove was an 86 Chevy Silverado single cab with the bench seat, 4x4, and it was jacked up because it was a 3/4 ton. That's what I learned to drive in
Damn.
the snow and on the farm.
My first car was 63 Impala 4-door, 327 automatic, 2-speed power glide. But it only had one motor mount, so every time I'd gun that son of a bitch, that thing would kick down and scrape for a half a block. And, man, I paid $800 for that car from some old lady.
What'd you do with it?
I can't even remember. I was probably 14, 15, somewhere around that age. I can't even remember.
Did you break it?
No, I still have. Oh, I sold it to my buddy's dad. Yeah, he gave me twice what I paid for it.
Well, I got a cousin that's constantly. He's got a YouTube channel. You can find it if you go to my page. It's called DIY Everything, and he's constantly building vehicles. He had I think it was a Chevelle. It was a 69 or 70 Chevelle, and he had found the frame for it and found the body for it, and he just built the thing, made it look really pretty, and then sold it. And it was like, I was mad when he saw it. I was like, you should have sold that to me. That was mine. But yeah, right now I'm trying to find it. I forget. I think it's on Facebook, and I think I got to do special things to find that because I hate Facebook.
I'm an Impala freak. I've had 7 Impalas from the 60s. Only 2 of them actually ran. But yeah, I'm obsessed with Impalas.
Those are Chevy.
The way it was set up. Yeah.
Just checking.
I said old Chevys, new Fords. I did have an 86 Bronco too that had a 6-inch lift on it. That thing was nice. Yeah. I tried to find one now, and man, the price is just ridiculous.
That's what he's building now. Yeah. His name was all, so I didn't want to put it up there. I'm trying to find the actual picture because he has it on YouTube. But anyway, go to his YouTube channel. He's got it. I think it's a 56 or something like that. It's a Chevy truck. He likes them old 50s Chevy trucks, and he's constantly building. That's the third one he's built.
I'm trying to find me an El Camino.
Yeah. Really? What are you going to do with that? Bug out vehicle?
No, that's going to be my baby. I'm a car freak. If I spent money on anything, that's why I told the old lady, if we ever got, Bill Gates rich, we're going to have a 500 square foot house in a 10,000 square foot garage. You know what I mean?
Yep. If I ever had Bill Gates money, I probably would have several vehicles, but I would have an armory that would dwarf the National Guard armory that is, in any town. That would be my thing, because I'm that guy. I don't need a lot of cars. I need a lot of firearms. And swords. I like swords. I don't even own a sword, and I want swords. Yeah.
Cars are my art. Most of them I wouldn't even drive. Like, my dream list would be like a Super B, a 50 Merc, stuff like that, a Cobra. Yeah. I wouldn't even, I just sit there and look at them. You know what I mean?
Just sit there. You just set a lounge chair right there and just stare at them. That's all you do.
I set my garage up like an old 50s diner and shit and just sit out there and kick it, look at all my cars.
Yeah, it wouldn't even drive them well. Combat Bacon says Ford Ranchero.
Yeah, I like those too. I like the squareness of the Ranchero more than I like the El Camino.
Is anyone having a hard time obtaining farming land? I'm pretty sure everybody is, because land is just going faster than it's being listed. I mean, people are selling it like crazy. Anywhere outside of a city, they're just buying it up.
I know we had a whole bunch of land around here that was for sale. It's, 3-acre lots all the way up to 20-acre lots, and a whole bunch of Kansas City and St. Louis yuppies have been buying it up all summer long. So we got campers.
We call those yuppies.
You froze. I'm sorry. Say it again.
What are you going to do with all those yuppies? I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not preppers. So what are you going to do when they are all starving, hungry, and looking to raid your field for your food you're growing?
Hey, I'm on the high ground. They can't whoop me. I ain't worried about them. You see some of these people that come out here to act like they're rugged and shit. Is let a mosquito or I've seen a lady out here freak out. A ladybug landed on her shoulder and she ran like she just got, punched by a mule. City folks and bugs is hilarious.
Chrissy Lee says, does anyone else think it's crazy that Bill Gates bought a ton of farmland? Yeah, I think I seen something about that not too long ago.
I'm surprised he didn't do it a long time ago, honestly.
I mean, China owns a lot of farmland in the U.S. China owns a lot of the U.S. toll roads also, especially, know for a fact the one coming out of Chicago, I think it's I-90, coming out of Chicago into Indiana, is a China-owned toll road. China owns more land in the U.S. than you would actually know. They buy it through corporations.
There was that thing about 2 weeks ago or something. China was trying to buy, Texas was trying to do like a monorail or something like that, but they were going through like a Chinese or a Japanese company. But they shut it down because the Asian company wanted to own the land that the rails were sitting on, plus a little bit around it, something like that. Technically, it's foreign soil.
Mulberry Homestead says, my first car was an 81 Z28 modified with a 400 block, did 10.5 seconds at 128 mile per hour, semi-pro.
Nice.
Let's see. Don Galloway says, my first was a 57 Chevy 6-cylinder. Wasn't long till I had a 283, then a 327, fastest car in town for a while.
That 327 is nice, man.
Y'all call yourself rednecks, and my first was an 87 or an 86 Chevy Silverado 4x4.
In my defense, though, when I was old enough to get my first car, I moved to the city when I was 13. So 13 to 17. There was no country for me at all. It was full-blown city streets. But I used to have a 76 Lincoln Mark V, canary yellow with the moonroof, the mirrored moonroof. Had the 8-track in it. Boy, that thing, I rolled that thing for a while, boy.
Had the 8-track? Were you bumping the 8-track?
Oh, yeah. I can't remember who sang it, but Spiders and Snakes, if anybody knows that song, that's the 8-track I had.
Spiders and Snakes, no?
Spiders and Snakes. Yeah. Some doo-wop kind of shit.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar at all. I mean, I was into, when I was younger, more a mix of rap and metal, and then more country and metal, and then country, rap, and metal. Now I just listen to whatever sounds good, which, yeah, it's pretty much everything.
Yeah, now I just like noise.
Yeah, noise is good. Turn on a fan so I can sleep. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, because I moved to the city right at the time. Like, my first time I ever heard rap was Too Short Cocktails. That was that's what started me on rap. So if any of you guys know what that is, that was my introduction to rap. A couple months later, I was living in the city, so yeah.
I know all about Too Short, and I won't mention some of the songs I know because they're just not good at all.
You got some Luke, some 2 Live Crew, Brother Lynch, Spice One, all that kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Coolio, remember Coolio?
Yep.
I think my first rap song that I actually liked was "Days of Our Lives," Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother had the he had every Bone Thugs and Harmony, and then who was MC Hammer when he tried to be hard. Remember that one when he started getting on with
I never
Tupac?
followed MC Hammer. MC Hammer was just too
Yeah.
ridiculous for me. Mark Catlin says 51 Jeep pickup 6-cylinder flathead, best vehicle I ever owned. I've always wanted a Jeep.
I want a 6-cylinder. I wanted something with a 6-cylinder for a long time because you can beat the hell out of those things and it's so simple to fix.
Yeah, unless you get into the newer ones. So yeah.
Because I'm at the point now where I don't really care about unless I'm on the bike. You know what I mean? I go 10 miles under the speed limit. And I catch myself going down some of these back roads. I look down, I'm going like 45. I'm like, oh shit, it's 50 through here, 55 through here. Yeah.
If there's nobody around you, why not?
I get zoned out. I Sunday drive every day. You know what I mean?
Well, we are almost 2 hours into this. I know Prepper Nurse is going live here soon. We're down to 88 people watching. 132 likes though, so that's impressive. Thank you guys for the likes. If you haven't done so, please hit that button. Yep, flannel is a good choice. Homestead Oz says. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wear flannels all winter long because it keeps me warm, and it's easy to conceal my firearm with a flannel, and that's really the main reason I wear them, because I can drape it over and I can tuck my undershirt, behind my firearm, which keeps the cold metal off of me and keeps, my sweat and oils and lint somewhat out of my firearm. So that's the reason I wear flannels, is to conceal.
I only dressed up to be on here. I got a shirt with no sleeves on underneath this. I'm taking as soon as we get off of here.
All right. Well, I will take a couple more questions like normal, and then we will call it because, yeah, I'm about to have to go and pay rent on the coffee I've been drinking. You get it?
It means he has to urinate, people.
Exactly. I've been drinking too much coffee. I mean, I made this coffee about an hour and a half before the.
I don't see how you drink that. I don't see how you guys drink that coffee so damn late at night. I drink 1 cup in the morning, and it makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack for like 2 hours.
What kind of coffee are you drinking?
Folgers.
Oh, that's your problem right there.
Hey.
That's not coffee. That's not coffee.
You give me some hot chocolate, throw a spoonful of peanut butter in there, a couple bears, little gummies, good to go. 6 hours straight.
I'll take your word for that one. Hot chocolate, peanut butter, and gummy bears. That's your recipe there. That's
gummy
bears. Huh? Oh, gummy bears. I get what you're saying. So, they make coffee with that in there, right? I mean,
I know, but it's still going to taste like coffee. So,
I don't know. I know what it smells like, but it doesn't smell like coffee. Green gummy. Yep, that's exactly what we're talking about. All right, the comments are going into the gutter. B Charming says Folgers is the best. You really got to try some. What was the name of that coffee? Dead by Daylight or something? No, that's not coffee. I don't know. It was Dead Something Coffee. I got more of it in my PO box that We the People Prepping sent to me. I got to go get some more.
I'll tell you, that's the best way to make coffee. You take a gallon pitcher, right? You do a full 12 cup pot of coffee, pour it in the pitcher. Then you do a little bit of milk. Then you do some Chico sticks. You do some peanut butter. You do a little bit of hot chocolate. You stir all that shit up. Then you just pass it around family style.
But I don't have a coffee pot. I have a French press because I'm a yuppie.
Well, whatever that thing holds then.
I don't know. I mean, this is a 10-ounce cup, and I've never filled this thing up. I mean, yeah, I'm sure we could pass it around, though. Not a bad idea. Jack Daniel's coffee, I can make that. Just pour a little bit of Jack in your coffee, you're good to go. I mean, that's really. I think Jack Daniel's actually does make a coffee. Grim, are you going to watch the Foil Hat Challenge and have some fun? When is the Foil Hat Challenge, and where do I watch it?
Northern Girl Hobbies.
I will go watch the Foil Hat Challenge. I don't think I'm going to participate because I don't have foil to spare. But yeah, the Truth Warrior wants to know what a Chico stick is.
Next.
Oh, you're not going to answer? Come on now. We all want to know what a Chico stick is. For those,
Y'all don't know what a Chico stick is?
I know exactly what a Chico stick is, but there's a lot of people who don't.
It's peanut butter and like baked coconut, but you can't taste the peanut. It's the shit, is what it is. Go to the store and get one.
Chico sticks. Yep, there's a lot of people asking about Chico sticks. Homestead Oz has to get back to work. God bless. Thank you for being here, Homestead Oz. I need to kill some coffee. Yeah. But all right, if anybody hasn't done so already, where did I put that? I know it's around here somewhere. Did I lose it again? I lost it again. How does I keep losing stuff on this thing? I'm going to get it. I'm going to keep hitting the back button until I find it on like 6 different tabs. 6 different tabs on 2 different browsers. Come back here. I don't know. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way and click the link. Where is it? Where is it? I've got way too much stuff on my computer at any given time. Like I said, I'm trying to make a prototype, but first, in order to make a prototype, I have to make a digital 3D blueprint for the prototype. So once I get the digital 3D blueprint made, then I can submit it to somebody to build me a prototype, and then I can approve or disapprove, and then I can send the prototype over to a manufacturer, and then I can set up a web page.
Are you doing a cowboy hat? Are you doing a cowboy hat?
No, I have a lighted ball cap, and that's just one idea. One idea, because I've also sent a lighted ball cap. It's actually a beanie. They have them with beanies. But the problem I have with them are the batteries. The batteries are those little flat watch batteries, and they're really expensive and they're hard to find. So what I'm, the 2 ideas I have are putting one in a regular, just a stick battery that's a lithium ion rechargeable battery, and having a USB port somewhere on the hat itself. But the other idea I have is just making it, and I'll probably do them both if I can, is just making it AAA batteries, because they're small and you can get 200 lumen lights out of AAA batteries. It's just you got to be careful not to set the hat on fire. So you got to have a good system to make sure it's not overheating and cooking somebody's head. But anyway, as I was saying, because I finally did pull the link back up, if anybody hasn't done so already, the link for Hutch-Homestead is in the chat. Please go over there, give him a sub. Make sure that you say the gremlins are coming or something along those lines, because why not? That would be fun.
I heard I'm kind of a big deal. I wouldn't say it about myself, but other people say it about me, I
agree. So currently you have 225 subscribers. We can do way better. Come on, people. We need to get Hutch up to 1,000. We need to see live streams of Hutch wandering around the homestead, just doing whatever he does. We're staring at his cars.
I only had 2 this morning, so I ain't mad.
Yeah. I've seen these Twitch streams of people sleeping. Have you ever seen that? No. Somebody sleeps and then puts the camera on them, and people come and give them donations and chat and the Twitch. And yeah, seriously, I've seen people do this. I'm like, man, I wonder how many donations I could get if I just went to sleep and just left the camera on me all night long. I mean, if I snore louder, do I get more donations or less? Or, I mean, how does that work?
If you do that, if you pay people to watch them sleep, you fucking slap yourself.
I've never done it. Not slapping myself.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I watched and it was a pop up on YouTube one day. Have you ever heard of a channel called oh, what's this guy's name? He's a very famous rich guy. He's constantly giving out money. I gotta type it in because I can't remember the guy's name.
That young cat.
Yeah, he's a young guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. He goes around and like, hey, pays a month's worth of rent or give. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I cannot remember his name for nothing. I'm trying to type it in because I don't really follow the guy. Mr. Beast. There it is. Mr. Beast. Yeah, so I was watching him, one of his videos he had posted just randomly while I was bored. I wasn't even at home. I was watching on my phone. And this guy went to these Twitch streams where people were sleeping, and he gave some guy like $1,000 donation I think it was actually a $10,000 donation that was just sleeping. And it woke the guy up. The guy woke up, I guess, at the sound of the donation. And he's like, no, really? And then you seen this Mr. Beast guy on there. That Mr. Beast guy has made his own burger chain. And there's a burger chain, Mr. Beast Burger, somewhere in Indianapolis. And I've been really curious to go try it out. Liz Rambo, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. I hope you have a very blessed day.
I know eventually the goal for after I get all this done is I want to start, it's a toss up. I either want to start a campground to where I can have that, and I want to do like wedding receptions because I love landscaping. So It's either something like that, or I want to start some kind of restaurant. You know what I mean?
I'd like to start a restaurant.
Because around here, everything closes at 5 o'clock, and it's all the exact same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you do a food truck, though, and then when they lock everybody down, you can just drive down the city blocks where everybody's locked down and like ring the bell like the ice cream man. And they'll come out and buy, cheeseburgers from you.
I'm aiming toward is just getting an old U-Haul truck and throw some auto wrap on that bitch. Cut some window holes out and boom.
Yep, that's all you have to do is get you an old U-Haul trailer, mount some propane tanks to the front of it, pipe it in, set up a little kitchenette in the back of it, a little stove, freezer, cooler, whatever.
Yeah.
I need to go acquire me a little box trailer.
Yeah, because we've only got it's 6 miles in any direction to hit a gas station, and it's like that, spread out for probably 15 or 20 miles. So each one's got their own little restaurant inside. They got the pizza ovens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, my wife used to work at the one up the road here in a tourist season, just in pizza alone. They're making $5,000-$6,000 a night. You know what I mean? Just off of fucking pizza.
Yeah, but like, season's gone like out the window. We don't do that.
No, it ain't stopping here. It ain't nothing changed down here at all. You'll see every once in a while you'll see somebody in a mask at the store. I had the greeter at Walmart try to hey sir, this is a state requirement that you have to wear this. It was okay, whatever, and I just kept walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Nothing's really changed.
Marie, thank you for the super sticker and the little ha-ha pear guy. Hey, check this out. A subscriber sent this to me.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It's a spearhead. And it's
my son will fight you for that.
Yeah. It's been flint napped, and I'm going to attempt to get some sinew or some natural material and go out to the woods and find a piece of oak because we have a lot of oak in the area. And I'm going to attempt to make another spear, this time with this. But I'm not going to test it on wood. I'm going to test it on a watermelon. I've never made a spear, but look at
that green styrofoam you can get at like Hobby Lobby that holds the plants, the fake plants?
Yeah.
When you touch it, it leaks everywhere.
Yeah.
Get some of that, like press that into the mold, make you a mold for that mold. That way, if you ever get lead and aluminum and stuff like that, you can make you a whole bunch of replica one-time use spearheads.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I could get some, copper's easy to find around here. Copper spearheads, that would work. You can make bronze out of it, I believe.
I say the same thing if like people are wanting to make like arrowheads, just find a regular flat, none of that 4-point shit, just a regular flat arrowhead and just make your own molds.
Yeah, that's good size. I mean, just comparing it to my through night, that's a spearhead there for sure.
Yeah.
But the guy, he's actually a member of the Indiana Mag that we put together, and he doesn't live too far from here. And he gave me this. He said he watched his friend actually flint nap this thing. That's how they put it together. And yeah, it's got some sharp edges to it for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like it. But anyway, we're almost at 2 hours. We can just keep chatting all night, huh? Hutch is up to 232 subs. That's not enough. 234 now. Come on, guys. We can do better.
If I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will give away land.
What kind of land and where at?
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not.
Erroneous.
I'll give away land. You got like that much land on the back of a property that has like skyscrapers all around it. You didn't specify. Just said land.
Yeah. It's not my fault you didn't read the fine print.
All right, guys, please go over and subscribe to Hutch-Homestead. I'm going to post a link in the chat one more time and try to remember to add it to the description after the video here because I forgot to do that beforehand. I got distracted. I did get an email from the guy I was talking about in the beginning, and he's doing better, and I hope so because probably got flooded with like 60 emails from subscribers at least because, that's the only thing I could think to do. I'm not a professional at this. I don't understand the concept personally.
Yeah. It ain't that bad, y'all.
Yeah, not yet. We'll get there.
It ain't it's bad. You know what I mean? Don't worry about things you can't control.
Exactly.
Keep it moving.
Exactly. Guys, I'll post it one more time. That is the link to Hutch-Homestead. Please go subscribe. All right, I'm going to be out of here because I do have to go to the bathroom. I've been drinking way too much coffee. Thank you, Hutch, for being here. And yeah,
good time.
More about the bug out network here a little bit later, see how this works. I'm going to try to get the friend on here to better explain the concept of the nonprofit organization. But if you think it's a good idea, I think it's a good idea. We'll just talk about it further and see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
All right.
All we can do is better.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all we can do. Thank you guys for being here. See you next time.